Let's see, I think that's a good angle. Ah, it's a beautiful day. We just finished walking our 5 miles. Arlo's pooped. He's gonna sleep real heavy. One of the best pieces of advice I ever learned when it came to raising a dog was a tired dog is a well-behaved dog, and I will die on that hill because that's some of the best advice that I've ever received. And he is such a good boy when he's tired. That's why we do this every day. Good boy, Arlo, I love you. It's a little windy, so hopefully the microphone isn't picking up a lot of breeze. It shouldn't. This microphone is pretty good. So we'll see how it does in the post-processing. And if I have a little bit of a sniffle, just some allergies in the air. So we'll keep an eye on that in this recording. You know, at the start of the week on Sunday, I kept on thinking to myself, I wanted to talk today about being inside of the comfort dungeon, but nothing really came. And it's still something that I want to talk about, but not today. Because today, as the week went on and I just did more exercise and just more reflection on just how everything is going in my life, I really wanted to talk more about the 3 pillars, which I had mentioned before, which for me were sleep, diet, and exercise. And mostly focusing on sleep. Because for the longest time, since in high school, in college, I would always stay up late, well past midnight, and even continue doing that after college. When I had a full-time regular job, work, get your butt out of my face, have to show up at the office 8 in the morning every day, deal with the commute and everything, I would still stay up late and I would wake up, at like 7:30 sometimes. And it's like, all right, let me go wash my face real quickly with water, see if my hair looks okay, smell my clothes, make sure it doesn't stink, hop in the car, and then go to the office. And that's how I lived. And it was a terrible way to live, and I don't recommend being stuck in that for too long if you could fix that, because that's how I was living. And my sleep was never a priority. My sleep was always something that I did when I feel tired, I'll fall asleep, or if I'll stay up late playing video games, watching movies, wasting time, and then I'll just naturally feel tired and fall asleep and crash. Well, I do that every night at midnight, 1 in the morning. I only end up getting about 4 or 5 hours of actual sleep, if even that. And I just couldn't function at the level that I am now. And there is a big difference in it. I'm no expert or scientist on all the benefits of proper night's rest and the kind of recovery and just the science behind it, but I've been listening to a lot of just podcasts, of presentations, of people who have also really focused on just the science of sleep and how important that is to recovering and to just having a much clearer, focused life and routine. And so when I moved to my current apartment back at the end of July of last year, 2024, that was one of the first things that I knew I needed to fix was my sleep, because I had never really had a regular, routine, sustained, consistent sleep cycle. It was always up till midnight, etc., waking up early, rinsing my face, and just running along the day. So the way that I fixed it, I touched about it a little bit in my last video, but I want to go into a little bit more detail this time, was that I really started noticing, okay, what time am I actually turning off the computer, getting off my phone, and I'm actually getting into bed to go to sleep. It was 10:30, 11, even close to midnight. Even then, when I moved into the apartment, because this change didn't happen immediately. It took a little while to figure it out, but I was able to. And so what I did when I was living at my parents' place is I got these blackout screens that you could put on your windows. And I felt like, you know what, if I did that, I would probably be able to sleep much better. But that wasn't the reason why I got it in the first place. Because back then, the reason why I got them was just because I wanted the room to be cooler. I didn't want to deal with as much of the heat in the summer days. I wanted my room to feel just like that dark, cool vibe, which it never was. It was, it just contributed to the comfort dungeon, which we'll talk more about at another time. But what ended up, oops, sorry, buddy, I'm trying to get some of his hairs off, as you can see. But getting those blackout screens for my windows actually came in really handy, because for me, I found that if I'm in a very dark, quiet environment, maybe have an air conditioner on low, a fan, I could sleep much more solid and consistent, and it feels amazing. So that was one of the first things that I did when I moved to my apartment, was order the same blackout screens that I got for my windows at my parents'. And it's Amazon. I just found it, like 30 bucks. It gives you, like, I forgot how many yards of curtain that you could use, and you just cut with your scissors, and you have double-sided adhesive that you mount to the window. Very easy to do. And so that's what I did in my bedroom. And while the bedroom itself is very dark and feels like a little cave, that's how I like it, to be able to sleep very peacefully, and for just getting into a really good zone of rest. Even just napping in there too, under the same condition, feels really helpful, and I like that a lot. And so once I did that and I put those blackout screens on my bedroom window, it was okay. What else can I be doing to get a full good night's rest? And I was still going to bed, like I said, around 10:30, 11, 12 even, but it wasn't consistently as bad. On weekends it was, but it wasn't like it was before. So already the ball was rolling, and I forgot exactly when it was that it started clicking more and more into routine. Taking Arlo on walks every morning and evening also helped with that, because I didn't like taking him out too late at night before bedtime, and I also didn't like waiting too long in the morning to take him out to go for his little walk, because that's also when he goes to the restroom and all that good stuff. Ain't that right, buddy boy? And so, having a dog really does help with building consistency in your life. Yeah, that right there, very true. If you have a dog and you want to find consistency in your life, give your dog a routine, and you'll find that it gives you a routine too. Because the dog will stick to that routine, and they'll love that routine, and they'll expect that routine, and they'll obey the routine for the most part. And so having that is a big help. Oh, hi, buddy. What's up? What's up? Can I help you? Hey, I'm recording a video, buddy. I'm recording a video. the camera doesn't want to see your butt. The camera don't want to see your boot. Watch out, Arlo. Watch out. Watch out. Come on, over here. Sit. Down. Down, down, down. Thank you. Yeah. Having a dog really helps with having a routine. Hey, can I help you? So, where was I? Right now, I take Arlo outside on walks every morning around 5:30, 5:45 in the morning, because I'm consistently waking up between 4:30 and 5 every morning. And it's crazy that that's my life now, when before I would fall asleep sometimes at 4:30 and 5 in the morning. But no, things are different now. We're healthier, we're happier, and we're living, we're alive. Yes, very much so. And so that's what we wake up every morning now. And I set my alarm to 5:30, but it's not often that I am actually woken up by my alarm. Even when I have to go to work, on Tuesdays and Thursdays, I have to go into the office, which is about 45-minute commute in the morning with light traffic. Good boy. And so as long as I leave by 6:30, I'm okay. I'm fine. And I usually start work around 7. So yeah, on the days that I leave to the office, that's when we wake up and just get going first early in the morning. But that's every morning now. And Monday and Wednesday I work from home. So on those days, I'm already waking up early, I don't choose to stay up late because I like the rest, I like the sleep, I feel great. I wake up a few times in the middle of the night, like around 1, 2 sometimes 12:30, and I just have to, just drink some water, go use the restroom, and that's it. And I fall right back to sleep, and I feel amazing. Hi, Arlo. Can I help you, sir? Arlo. Gesundheit. Come on. You're blocking the camera, buddy. So, like I was saying, that Arlo. Like I was saying, the sleep that I get really helps a lot to set the tone for the rest of my day. And I change out my bed sheets every few days, wash them all regularly. I have 4 different sets of sheets and pillowcases that I rotate through. And I have a big body pillow, which I sleep very well with. I just kind of embrace it, hug it, and lean on my side, and I sleep solid. And I use my sleeping bag as my only blanket, so that way I can easily regulate how warm or how cool I want to feel. Because the sleeping bag, it's a 0-degree sleeping bag, so it's meant for, camping in cold conditions. But using it there when I go to bed at night, I could just easily toss over a portion of it and I let myself cool down, and it's very comfortable. It's a very comfortable way for me to sleep, and I love it, I enjoy it. And it's easy. I just have a lot of just freedom and mobility to just stretch and move as I please. What? What? Can I help you, sir? Hey, I know. Don't worry. We're recording today's episode, buddy. I know. Don't worry. You're part of the show too. And so, yeah, I wake up maybe 2 or 3 times a week, sometimes more. And yeah, just middle of the night, drink some water, go take a piss if I need to, and fall right back to sleep. And I wake up again 4:30, 5, and I feel great. I feel very well rested, and I just get my day going. And it feels really good to know that I get that sleep. And if I know that I'm going to be up late, for example, if I'm going to hang out with some friends on a Saturday night, Friday night, whatever, and I know I'm going to be up later and I'm probably going to eat something later also, and I plan for it. And it's like, okay, well, we're not doing this every day. We kind of readjust a little bit of our diet to go into that, and it works out fine. And I'll wake up, 5:36, and I still feel great. I feel fine. I go do my exercise in the morning, and I will continue on. It's no big deal. And I don't do those kind of things impulsively as much as I used to anymore, which is why planning for it helps me prepare to, okay, if I'm going to be sleeping in, say, Saturday or Sunday morning, then that's fine. I'll 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 do that, and I'll just go and exercise at, a little bit later in the morning. It's no big deal. It's not like I'm in a big rush. This is my time in my life that I'm really focusing on myself, my health, my my wealth, my what else? I don't know, whatever else can rhyme. But this is really the time in my life when I'm just locking in, and I'm really building the foundation that I want to have going forward, to live the life that I always told myself I wanted to live, but I never gave myself the chance to do it until now. Something also that I touched on was eating at night or eating too late. I found that for me, if I eat too late, especially if it's something like heavy and greasy, then my digestion is going to be working at nighttime. So my body's going to be generating a lot of heat. Okay. And I found that for me, when my body is in that state, my dreams tend to have much more action or just activity. Nightmares also, not nightmares every time, but just very vivid dreaming. And a lot of times it wakes me up sometimes, and I wake up knowing that I was sweating or sweating and feeling it and just feeling that heat. And it's like, oh, I don't like it. I don't feel good. And I don't feel as rested when I do that. So for me, what works is if I just don't eat anything after 4 or 5 p.m., I'm good. That's fine. That's okay. Let my body do its thing. And in the morning is when I have my breakfast: eggs, spinach, some Ezekiel bread toast, cottage cheese. It's delicious. Some salsa. I'm getting hungry now thinking about it, and that's what I'm gonna eat when we get back. I'll probably do another video that goes over the things that I'm eating every day, also, which I'm sure could be helpful. Because I try to keep very consistent also with what I'm eating. Just like Arlo, he eats pretty much the same stuff every day, and he's happy, he's healthy, he's content, and the same applies for me. And also it just helps keeping consistent with the grocery prices, so that way I'm always buying the things that are best for me and for my wallet. So we're continuing to do that and going forward, and it feels great. And something that I've been doing lately, the last few weeks, is around like maybe 3 o'clock, around 3 o'clock, when you're kind of feeling that afternoon like lull, when you're just feeling like, ugh, could use a pick me up. And I don't like to drink coffee later in the day. I drink it in the morning, because if I have caffeine also later in the day, it's gonna throw off my sleep as well, and I'm just gonna feel too energized, and I'm not gonna get a very good night's rest. So for me, coffee also early morning. That's when I have it, and I feel great. And so, but in that time window around like 3:30 ish, what I like to do is just take half an hour, especially when I'm at home. I can do this. Just take a little break, and I just go into my bedroom. All the lights are off, and I just get into a state of rest. I don't let myself fall asleep, but I rest, I breathe, I relax, and it just really helps me feel like almost like the benefits of taking a nap without like falling asleep and really ruining your sleep cycle. That's also something that would ruin my sleep cycle. If I take a nap in the middle of the day, I'm gonna be up until like 4 in the morning. So I don't do that anymore either. Hi, buddy. You sleep all the time though. He's a little sleeper. So that I've been doing lately, and that's been helping a lot, and just a nice little boost to get through the rest of the day. And when I'm at the office, I just go on a 15-minute walk around at 3 o'clock. I take my break, and it feels great. I walk a lot when I'm at work also. For my lunch break, same thing. I take my half hour and I just go walking the entire time, and I eat right there. I eat when I'm working in the office, and it's great. It's very flexible, and it's a really good balance for me right now. And I'm finding all the things that I've had all this time that I'm finally able to use for my betterment, for my health. And yeah, my only regret is that it took me this long to truly realize that and live it. But sometimes it takes hitting rock bottom and seeing that your life is really going in the wrong direction to start turning it around. So yeah, I don't have too much more to go on into my sleep. I get a solid 7 hours, probably consistent every single night. Because I'm in bed now. Oh, I didn't even mention this. What time I'm in bed usually by? I'm usually in bed now between 8 to 9 p.m. Because like by 9:30, 10, I'm already asleep. I'm knocked out. I uh, a show that I loved watching a lot with my cousins was called Survivor Man with Les Stroud, and he was really big on going 7 days out in the wilderness and showing you how he survives, just doing bushcraft techniques and giving himself unique challenges. Very educational. And so I put on reruns of his show. I'll put on sometimes the Outdoor Boys, and just other stuff, that just camping and things like that, because I find that very relaxing. Or I'll just find some like 432 hertz frequency music, and I'll put that on in the background, and I sleep great, and it feels amazing. Something also that I got to know is when I was living with my mom and dad, Arlo, he would sleep on the bed with me every single night, and that was just part of it. He was used to that. I got used to that, but he doesn't sleep on my bed anymore. And it's not because I don't love him, but it's because I need that restful sleep. And also, I don't mind not having his hairs to clean out of my bed sheets every single day, and the odor. So he sleeps in the living room. He's got covers on the couch. He's fine. He's happy and dandy. And I sleep restfully, so it's a good balance. And also, it helps him with just his separation anxiety, because I noticed that whenever I would leave and somebody was home, like my mom or my dad, and they would notice that like whenever I would leave to work, he would just start whining and crying and complaining. And he got out a few times too. And that's a huge stress for anybody who has dogs, especially huskies, because they're known for being escape artists. It's a terrible way to go about your day, especially when I just arrived at the office in the morning and then I get a phone call from my mom or my dad telling me that Arlo got out. It's a bad emergency to have to deal with. And yeah, I had to leave the office and go home and go take care of him. And thankfully, whenever that happened, usually a neighbor of mine was able to call him and get his attention and hold on to him for me until I got back. So yeah, now we're in a much better place because he's just chilling in the apartment all day. I don't have to worry about him getting out, and he has a fan on. And when it gets hot in the summer, I mean, the apartment cools down real quickly, anyways, with the air conditioner. So we're set. And he did sleep with me on my birthday and Christmas, just because, every now and then it's nice to have him there by my side again. And so it's a good little balance. And what else for my sleeping arrangement? Yeah, I mean, the more I can focus on getting a solid night's rest, the easier it is for me to build consistency in the rest of my day. And that's what I've been able to do the last couple of months, which is why we're in a routine. And sleep is the foundation of that routine. And if you're struggling with figuring out a solid sleep cycle, you need to really start taking a look at yourself. Are you eating too late? Are you staying up playing video games, browsing your phone, watching porn, watching movies, whatever it is? Is the volume cranked up? Are you listening to music that's got a very fast, repetitive beat? If you're doing all of these things that are stimulating you in some way, keeping you awake, then that's where you got to start. And little by little, work your way into a place where it's much easier to find yourself to fall asleep and stick to a solid routine where you can get rest. And it's funny because right now on TikTok and Instagram, anybody who follows it will know who Ashton Hall is. He's an athlete who made a video with a really silly routine, and people are just mimicking it and just making fun of it and whatever. It's going viral. But yeah, he talked about it himself in one of his videos where he goes to bed early and wakes up every morning at 4 a.m. And also talking about how it's a lie if somebody tells you they're a night person. No, it's because their sleep is out of whack. But some people probably are a bit more functional at nighttime. And like I mentioned at the start of this video, I'm not the scientist to go into that. There are plenty of other people out there who speak on it. But finding what works for you to have a balanced, consistent foundation is what will work for you. Just like I found what works for me. So I hope that this talk of sleep on these three pillars, sleep, diet, and exercise, has been helpful. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask, let me know. Um, I look forward to sleeping every night because I love waking up early and having a productive day. And it's allowed me to continue building on and having the consistency in my life that I have now that I never had before. And I'll just kind of finish it off again. Every video that I'm going to be making someday has arrived. That's the whole point of this playlist, of this series, because it's all about living your life in a way that you can change it to live the life that you're meant to live. And these videos have no hashtags, no clickbait. They're meant to find you when you're looking for it and resonate with people who are asking the same questions about how they can change things in their life. So I hope you've enjoyed it. Stick around. Something cool might happen. And yeah, we'll look forward to putting out the next video next Friday. Thank you. All right, Arlo, let's go.